Liza Bournay from BookPage, and I'm here at RWA in New York talking to Rachel Gibson about her latest novel, Any Man of Mine. So thank you so much, Rachel, for talking to me and talking to BookPage readers.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first, could you just tell me a little bit about your novel? I know we have met some of these characters before.
Any Man of Mine is the last book in a 3-book series featuring a hockey team that I made up that is located in Seattle. And it's a what happens in Las Vegas doesn't always stay in Las Vegas sort of story. Sometimes, you know, one of those wild weekends follows you home, and then you have to deal with it probably for the rest of your life.
And the couple in the book is this Autumn and Sam who met in Las Vegas, and Autumn got pregnant, and Sam kind of ditched her at the end of the weekend, and now it's several years later, and they run into each other again. And
right, they meet each other in Las Vegas, and they just have this wild weekend, and they think it would be really funny to get married by an Elvis impersonator, you know, probably pretty inebriated. And the next morning he wakes up and he realizes it just wasn't quite that funny. And so he leaves, he dumps her there in a very sort of caddish way, and then she becomes pregnant, and then they have to learn to deal with each other, and they do run into each other when the child is 5. Sam knows he has the child, but they're not really very unfriendly terms with each other, Sam and Autumn, so they try to stay away from each other as much as they possibly can until an event, which is a wedding from former characters in other books, brings them back together.
Well, one thing I really like about this novel is that it's told from both Autumn and Sam's point of view. It's kind of alternating. So why did you decide to do the alternating viewpoint, and is it difficult for you to go back and forth?
It isn't difficult. I think that all good books come from character. All good books are character-driven. And it's, for me as a reader and a writer, I like to get both points of view on the same situation. Both people are looking at the situation, and I like to see and write it from different points of view, because, you know, they could be just infinitely different depending on, you know, who you are looking at the same situation. I think that's fun.
Well, so as you said, you've written a couple of other books that feature this hockey team. What drew you to writing about hockey? Why do you think hockey players are so sexy, and are you a big hockey fan? Or?
I am a big hockey fan. I was initially drawn to write hockey because I was watching a hockey game, and Mark Messier of the New York Rangers happened to go away on the screen and start a big fight, and I just fell in love with him. You know, that's, you know, politically correct testosterone on ice, and they just get to, you know, men in real life have to, you know, kind of watch what they say and watch what they do, and really can't let loose. But hockey players out on the ice with each other can. So I think that it's fun to watch and it's fun to write.
Well, have you talked to any hockey players and doing research, or done any kind of behind the scenes?
A little bit, not a lot. I read a lot of biographies when I do a book, and that way I kind of get a real feel and a real voice for what I'm writing. But last year I did get to have my picture taken with the Idaho Steelheads. They're a smaller local team, and they were, you know, about 20, 23-year-olds that were all dressed up in their skates and a big jersey. They were massive and made me look small, so it was great.
Well, what is your favorite part of your job?
The favorite part of my job, other than, you know, writing, which is a job, is that I get to roll out of bed when I want. I don't have to set an alarm clock, and I grab my pot of coffee and I walk upstairs to my office, and I work in my pajamas. And also meeting the fans of romance when I'm out doing signings or here at RWA is a lot of fun too.
Have you had any particularly memorable interactions with fans, letters you've gotten, or, you know?
Romance readers are amazing, and that they're so loyal, and I think that romance books, maybe more than any other genre, touch your soul and touch your emotions. So people do get emotionally invested in the books, and that's always a little surprising to me, because usually by the time I meet a fan, I've moved on to another book. And they're emotionally invested in the book that I wrote last year, or maybe even 5 years ago. So.
And finally, I was wondering if you had a favorite hero that you've ever written.
That I've ever written? No, you know, I don't think that I have a favorite hero. I like heroes who are essentially kind of dark, a little dark, but very manly. And I think I give them all their own sense of problems. And you know, certainly Sam in Any Man of Mine had his set of problems that he had to overcome, and eventually did, to become, you know, a good man and a good father and a good romance hero.
Okay, well, thanks so much, Rachel, for talking to me, and pick up Any Man of Mine, which is on sale now.
That's right. Thank you very much.